One of the storylines from Week 14, which was chock full of impactful games, that late afternoon game at Lambeau Field, the Bears and the Packers, Chicago's first taste of Micah Parsons as a member of the Green Bay franchise, and, you know, one of the realities. And I want to make the broader observation here. Holding happens all the time, and it's not called.
Right.
It really is disgusting how often it happens. When Joe Alt came back for the Chargers Week 8, against the Minnesota Vikings in the game where the Chargers just destroyed the Vikings. They had a pack in the second half of all highlights from the night. Every single one of them was a hold. Every single one of them was a hold. And so, like, it's almost to the point where they look the other way on the arm across the neck and the grabber. Like, well, did it really affect? Like, I mean, I'm old enough to remember that when you blocked, you could only do this.
Right.
Holly and I talked about this, I think it was the day after that Vikings-Chargers game, because this is one of the classic poses of electric football figures, because this was how you could block. It was revolutionary to let offensive linemen use their hands to block, because this is the best way to avoid a hold. You can't hold if this is your posture for blocking.
Right.
Maybe we need to go back to this, but see, then the quarterbacks wouldn't be able to throw the ball all over the place. They want the passing games. They want touchdowns. They want points. They want people to put the action down on the overs. So, yeah, they're going to look the other. I mean, I know it's more egregious with Micah Parsons, Chris, but the broader issue here is holding happens all the time. And when it's called, it's like, well, why was that play any different than the 10 where you didn't call it?
Yeah. No, they've gotten too lax with the calling altogether. I think for the reasons you're talking about. 1 point, 2, protecting the quarterback's the number one thing in the sport right now. So if they're like, oh, he held them a little, but Mahomes threw a nice throw there, they're like, yeah, just let him throw the nice throw. We won't call it. It does feel like they're that way a little bit. I think this is one, though, where it crossed the lines of, like, your normal, bumping and rubbing is racing and all that type of stuff, right? When I watched the game live on Sunday, Devin McCourty will tell you, when we were doing our show and just getting ready to start, I was going, I always watch Micah Parsons. It's hard not to watch him when he's on the field because it's like, wait, one guy's moving way more fast and aggressive than everybody else on the football field. This guy's amazing to watch. It's like watching the Tasmanian devil out there on the football field. So I'm watching, and there was definitely some passing situations where I was like, man, it feels like the Bears have gotten away with some big holds on Micah Parsons. And let me just tell you, like, these aren't some of even the egregious. We might get to some of them, but this is, to me, to your point a little bit.
Look at that. He's got his hand on his throat. Look at this right here.
Look at that one there. I mean, and again, there's going to be worse. I told other plays and brought them up to everybody in commercial break to talk about. But, yes, held consistently and bear hugged a lot of the time. And also, this is where I feel like, to your point, like having a grown man that's 330 pounds and his arm is around you like this, I don't care how strong you are, that's going to slow you down. I see that too much with receivers too. People go, oh, he barely touched him. And it's like, wait, the guy grabbed his waist. Go out there and run right now. Let me grab your waist and let me show you how much that slows you down to not be able to go get the ball. But here's ones where we have Darnell Wright and Trapillo, like their arms are around him on the backside of his shoulders at times, like that, holding him. And, yeah, that's not fair. And that, to me, it crossed the line a little bit, even the little I went back and watched on film, too.
Two things.
Yeah.
One, I asked somebody from the Packers yesterday, do you have a list of, like, your top 5 plays that you believe this happened? And the response was, just watch any play.
Yeah, it's almost every play. It's almost
what we showed you is it. And look, it reminds me of the Legion of Boom. Remember the Legion of Boom? Remember what their approach was?
Yeah.
We're going to hold the receivers on every play. They're not going to call it every play.
Right.
We're going to hold them on every play, and we're going to force them to call it. They're only going to call the most egregious ones, and net benefit for us because we're holding them on every play. Apparently, that's what the Bears. Why not do that? Hold him every play, force the officials to bog the game down. They're not calling holding as it is anyway. I mean, this really is a crappy way to do business, NFL. You've allowed these officials to just look the other way on holding because we got to score points, we got to score touchdowns, we want people to bet the overs on these parlays. No, it's football. and you're not supposed to hold the defensive lineman, and we see it all the time. It is, and I'm sorry, if the defensive linemen are that much better than the offensive linemen, like, change the rules and allow holding then. Either enforce the rules you have or change them. I don't know. Maybe that should just be the rule. You can do anything you want to keep the defensive lineman and the linebacker from getting to the quarterback.
Well, you
can put your hand on their throat.
Just keep it
you can
in
put
here.
him in a full Nelson, whatever that is.
Right. Well, it used to be just keep it in here. Now we're getting into, wait, I can hold him out here and do this and do all that, what we're talking about. And here, I know we got some other plays, Courtney and Kristen. Let's show them here a little bit. You know, this wasn't maybe the right one. Okay, we might have missed it. Oh, here's one. Here we go. Look at this.
It doesn't matter. We've made our point.
But look
we don't
at
have
that.
to show all these. We've made our point.
Okay,
but go ahead.
I just wanted to show them either way. I mean, look at that here. Look at this.
Go ahead.
You see this? I mean, again, that's what I'm talking about. You see a lot of that right there.
And he's looking right at him.
Right.
He's looking right at him.
Yeah.
He's looking right at him as he's doing it.
This is a 340-pound man in Darnell Wright. Again, if that's not holding, I don't know what it is. And I would tell you that it's not every pass play, but it feels like it's 3 out of every 4, 3 out of every 5, and that's way too much. Right.
If they're not going to call it, why not do it? That's what I would tell my team.
Right.
If I'm the offensive line coach, here's how we're going to do it, because they don't call it.
Right.
This is what we're going to do, because they don't call it. And so if they don't call it, it's not a foul. Right? It's like a tree that falls in the woods. If no one's there to hear it, it's not a foul. It doesn't make a sound. We got to make them call it. I think it's smart. It's the only way to stop the guy. Otherwise, he's going to destroy the game and ultimately render your quarterback incapacitated. Here's Matt LaFleur from after the game on Micah Parsons not getting holding calls.
I don't know. I don't know. I thought there was one that certainly was questionable, to say the least, but apparently the officials disagree. So it is what it is, and we just got to continue to strain and fight and try to get to the quarterback. I'm not going to get into what we were talking about. I just, officials, I don't think that their jobs are easy by any stretch. I think it is a difficult job, but, I guess I don't know what holding is anymore, because I thought that was pretty clear and obvious hold, but I guess I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It's funny. Matt LaFleur had a press conference around Halloween, and he was asked about Halloween, and he said, I don't give a shit about Halloween. I'm quoting him there. He apparently cares about Christmas because he's trying to keep his money so he can buy Christmas gifts. He's treading lightly on the line of being fined in what he said. But he's absolutely right. And I really do wonder, has this just kind of happened among the officials, or has someone put the word out that we want to neutralize these pass rushers because we want to goose the passing game?
It feels that way. It feels that way. And I can't tell you how many times this year I've heard that type of talk from coaches. Like, I guess I don't know what the rule is anymore. That's not a good look for the league. When your coaches who know football better than anybody in 345, they're not sure what the hell penalties or how the game works anymore. That's not good. And again, I'll go back to the same thing I said on Football Night in America when the ball landed in the first row with the pass interference and the hot dog vendor had a better chance of catching it than the Colts receiver. Like, we got to get back to common sense football a little bit. We've lost it here. Like, common sense. Guy that looks like bear hugging a human is holding. Like, come on. Guy that looks like bear and is 345 pounds, when his arm is around you, I don't care who you are, both arms are around you, you're not going anywhere. Common sense. Holding. So that's where it's frustrating, and yeah, that's where we'll continue. It's an all-time low of a year for officiating in the NFL. It's the worst it's ever been, and the spotlight's so on it right now that it's going to be a story down the stretch, and it's going to be a story in the playoffs.
I know.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.